I think we can start. Okay, first of all, okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all student, postgraduate, uh, in this session. So I really appreciate that you are here. Okay, my name is Mohamad Nihra Haruzuan bin Muhammad Said. So I am one of the lecturers in the Faculty of Science, Social and Humanities, School of Education. So I'm also a member of Creative and Multimedia Panel. So for today, this morning, I will going to talk about research methodology in education technology. Yeah. So this is very crucial for uh for for you, for any person or any student uh that starting to do the research, especially in PhD. So okay, I'm going to talk about research methodology, but I will give you the overview first. Yeah. So the first thing, okay, because you are a research student, yeah, PhD is about research. You conduct a research, and then from that research, you will report your findings, and from there, you will share, and you also will defend your finding. That is all about PhD. But what is basically a research? What is a research? So a research must be organized. Yeah. So you cannot do research uh, without being organized. It should be organized. From your start, you begin with a problem. Okay. You search or you dig the problem. You understand the scenario. You understand what is happening around you. This is something that you need to organize. Yeah. And then it must be objective. Okay. So the research or the problem that you are identified should be an objective one. Yeah. So it should be in systematic process. Okay. So start, okay, with the problems, and then you will go on. Okay, from there you will formulate, yeah, your research question, right, etc., etc., and as well as how you going to solve it. Yeah. This is all needed for research. uh, this is what we call research. Yeah. So research is the characteristic of scientific research is basically it need a purpose. Yeah, it should be a purposive. All right. So what is purposive? Purposiveness mean research should have a definite aims or purpose. You must have purpose. You must have aims. Why you are doing this research? Yeah. If the focus is on increasing the commitment of employee, this is example, yeah, to the organization, and this is the purpose, yeah, because you want to increase the commitment, all right, your employee in the organization. An increase in employee commitment will translate into less turnover, yeah, less absenteeisms, and probably increased performance level at all, which would benefit the organization. Okay, this is the one. Okay, you doing the research because you want to help your organization. You want to help your country. All right. So you start with some decision making, and then you see the commitment, understand it will help you with the performance. All right. Second, rigor. Scientific research must have rigor. What is rigor? Okay, rigor is basically research should have a very good or sound theoretical base, yeah, and sound methodological design. All right. So this is rigor. Okay, without rigor, the research is it tend to be uh, a, a weakness. Yeah, there is a weakness of the research. Yeah. So because people can uh, you know, people can see, okay, there is a hole, okay, in your research, okay, by to avoid that, you need to have a rigor in your research. Rigorous research mean it apply the appropriate instrument, all right, to meet the state objective of your investigation, your research, for the level of precision in the analysis, all right. For example, to collect interview from 12 employee. So in order for you to collect 12 employee interview, you need 12 employee for the data. So why 12? Because in the scientific procedure for qualitative analysis, 12 is good enough. Okay, this is a sound, yeah, methodological design. All right. So third, it must be testability, all right, and also replicability, right? It should be can be tested and also can be replicate, yeah. So testability, what is testability? Okay, there is research can develop. You must develop research a set of research questions or hypotheses to be tested, yeah, or must be tested or analyzed, yeah. For instance, the researcher might hypothesize that the employee who perceive greater opportunity for participation in decision making would have a high level of commitment, right? They use in that case a t-test or ANOVA, yeah. So you need to know, okay, this is the inferential testing for the research, yeah. So it can be tested, right? How about replicability? Okay, replicability means your research can be replicated to different scenario or context, okay. The result of the test of your research objective should be supported again and again, right? Supported again and again means that other researcher can replicate it, all right. Okay, and when the same type of research is being repeated, yeah, in other similar circumstances, meaning that the research should be replicated, can be replicated by other researcher. All right. The finding and conclusion, if similar findings emerge on the basis of data collected by other organizations employing the same method. Yeah. Fourth, accuracy. Yeah. Okay, what is accuracy? Accuracy means accurate, right? The research should be designed in such a manner that it ensures findings are very close to reality, right? So measurement errors and other problems are also bound to introduce an element of bias or error in the findings, all right? Precisions refer to the closeness of the finding to the reality based on a sample measured by confidence interval, yeah, while confidence refer to the probability that the estimations of the research are correct, yeah, measured by the alpha. Okay, so mostly the alpha is less than 0.05, yeah. So that is for social scientists, social science, yeah. Okay, right. So next, it must be objective and also have the generalizability, right? So what is objectivity and generalizability? So objectivity means the conclusion drawn from the study should be based on the fact derived from the result of data analysis. Okay, I forget to give you the all right, the attendance. Sorry, because Dr. Zaliha is hang on, I try to find the attendance links. Hang on. Uh, Hang on ya. Okay, hang on. I give it to in the chat. Chat. Okay, please. Okay, this is the attendance link. Okay. All right. So sorry. So I will continue. So, all right. Please. Okay. This is the attendance link. Okay. Right. So objectivity. Okay. What is objectivity? Objectivity drawn from the study should be based on the fact derived from the result of the data analysis and not based on one's own subjective or emotional value. This is objectivity. Yeah. So you need to make sure all your interpretations, all right, all your elaboration should be very objective. Yeah. So, and avoid not that evidence. Yeah. Please, that's something that you to avoid. Yeah. So much damage can be sustained by organizations that implement non-database or misleading conclusion drawn from research. This is very dangerous. Yeah. Okay. How about generalizability? Yeah, should be generalized. Yeah, your finding can be generalized to other applications. Yeah? It refers to the applicability of research in one organizational setting to other settings. Yeah. So, for example, you doing blended learning. Okay, in for example, in library, in where library can use blended learning approach for reading, for example. From that research, the findings can be generalizable to other settings. For example, in preschool, where students can also use the similar approach for their reading. So this is something that we call as generalizability. Yeah, finding that participation in decision making enhance organizational commitment are found to be true in a variety of manufacturing, industry and service organizations, and not merely in the particular organization studied by the researcher. Then the generalizability of the findings to other organizational setting, it's enhanced. Yeah, the more generalizable the research, the greater its usefulness and value. Okay. However, not many research finding can be generalized. Yeah, you need also to aware that. Okay. All right. The last one is parsimony. Yeah. What is parsimony? Parsimony means simplicity, simple. Okay. You avoid complicated, complicated wording, complicated findings or output. Yeah. So simplicity in explaining complex situations or statistical analysis is always preferred to complex and complicated results and findings. All right. If two or three specific variables in the work situations are identified, which when changed would raise the organizational commitment of the employee by 40%, 45%, that would be more useful and valuable to the manager than if it were recommended that he should change 10 different variables to increase organizational commitment by 48%. All right. So what is not research? So this is another question. The one we talk about what is research. Now what is not research? Okay. When you just collecting facts or information with no clear purpose, this is not research. All right. Reassembling or reordering fact or information without any interpretations. Yeah. And historic activity, with no or little relevant to everyday life, and as a term to get your product or idea noticed and respected. This is not research. So when you start, know that you should start your research, all right? But that before that, you need to develop. Okay, the researchers need to start develop an experiment. They must first make a declaration. They must first indicate what their philosophical views on the nature or investigation all right, of the research. You need to make sure your worldview. What is your worldview, right? So different researcher, even within the same discipline, may have very distinct view what the point of doing research is and how to interpret the result of an experiment. Yeah, so they have to be clear up front about their view, right? There are various terms to describe these differences in view, including one is paradigm, the one that I mentioned now, research paradigm. The second one, worldview. What is your worldview? Epistemology and ontologies. Okay, these all are broadly conceived as a research methodologies, right? So this is research methodologies. So the one that you should start okay, consider at the beginning of your research before you start or embark in your investigation. Yeah. So there are three main paradigms or methodologies, okay, that we will consider. Yeah. So the first one we call as a positivism or post-positivism, right? The second one, interpretivism or social constructivism. And the last one is pragmatism. Okay, what are these? I know you, I think you know, some of you might, okay, this word might peculiar to you because some of you never heard of this, but if you might hear, all right, the word, for example, quantitative, right? Qualitative, okay, and mixed methods. Okay, I think most of you are familiar to those words. Then this word, yeah, the positivism or positivism, interpretism or social constructivism and pragmatism. Okay, but we will go one by one. Okay, positivism, yeah, or post-positivism. This is basically a very close to the traditional scientific method. Okay, when you do your investigation scientifically, yeah, in lab, for example, yeah. Okay, this is basically viewed by Karl Popper, yeah. This is the founder. Okay, you can use experiment to measure and analyze how the objective world around you or us works, and the result are subject to the considerations. Okay, the positivists believe that using science we can measure, classify, and understand. Eh? The positivists suggest that if this is true to a certain extent, we must be careful not to forget that our interpretation may be based on assumption. Yeah. All right. So this is all focused on the approach quantitative. This is involved quantitative descriptor. Yeah. So post-positivists focus on cause and effect, and thus very deterministic. Yeah. So they focus on finding what are the causes that could have produced the specific outcomes of the experiment. Right. They also have a very reductionist view. Yeah. In the sense that they want to reduce the cost into a small, discrete set of ideas to test. Yeah, you need a very testable ideas to test. Yeah, so this is positivism. So the post-positivists inherently believe that there are laws or theories that govern the world, and they can be identified and tested using the scientific method. Yeah. So the post-positivists start with a theory, and then they collect data, and this will support or refute the theory, which may then result in the theory being revised before additional tests are made. Okay, this is quantitative, which I believe most of you are doing now. Yeah, quantitative is very much start with a theoretical framework. And then you will have to frame your collection, data collections, and from there you can make a testing, your hypothesis, and from the findings you can start to see whether it's support or refuse, okay, or contradict theory, right? How about interpretism or social constructivism? Okay, this view is typically seen in qualitative research. Yeah, the key assumption is that individuals seek understanding of the view that they live and work in. Yeah, so this view comes from the work of Karl May and others. Okay, this is the founder. Yeah, all right. This individual develops, yeah, subjective meaning of their experiences, yeah, meaning directed towards certain objects and things, yeah. These meaning are varied and multiple, which lead the researcher to look at a range of view rather than reduce them down to a few categories, all right. This approach focus on the qualitative descriptors, right? Okay, thus the researcher main goal is to allow the participants to construct their own meaning of the situation, often negotiated socially and historically. Yeah, historically. The social element means that the meaning are constructed through interactions with others. Yeah, the researcher also acknowledge that they themselves are shaped by their backgrounds and their interpretation flow from their personal, cultural, and historical experiences. In interpretisms, okay, they are more open-ended, the questioning, yeah. The more open-ended the questioning is, the better, right? The researcher listens carefully, okay, to what the participants do in their life setting, yeah. The research process is qualitative and largely inductive, right? The objective is to interpret other meanings of the world rather than to start with a theory, as in positivism, right? This is very much qualitative, meaning that there is no theory govern your first investigation. You, okay, that theory or that meaning will emerge from your data. Okay, meaning that you will get the data from your participant or your respondent, and then from that the theory will emerge. Okay, this is how interpretism or qualitative research methodologies work in research. Yeah, I think some of you may use qualitative. I'm not sure whether you will go fully qualitative, but some of you might, okay, do some of the qualitative methods. Yeah, all right. So the last one is pragmatism. What is pragmatism? Yeah, a view that arises out of actions, yeah, situations and consequences. The key focus is what works and getting solutions to problems. It derived from the work of peers as well as William James, George Mead, and John Dewey. Yeah. Okay. For modern, you can see the mixed method books. Okay, there's a lot of mixed method books. Okay. Okay, this is basically focusing on method. Okay, the researcher focus on the problem and use a range of approaches. Okay, that help understand it. This is often associated with mixed method research. Okay, in this way, researchers are free to choose the method, the technique, and the procedures of research that best meet their needs and purpose. Okay. Okay, if your research fall under mixed method, this is what you're doing. Okay, you are going to have a part of your research maybe start with qualitative or quantitative, and Your second half will be qualitative or vice versa. Okay. So from there, you will come into interpretations. Yeah. All right. The researcher proceed from the basic premise that the human capability of theorizing is integral to intelligent practice. Okay. Theory and practice are not separate sphere, rather than theories and distinctions are tools or map for finding your way in the world. Okay, as John Dewey put it, there is no questions of theory versus practice, but rather of intelligent practice versus uninformed or stupid practice. Okay. Okay, the researcher does not have to focus on an absolute unity. Yeah, there are many ways to collect data and analyze it. Okay, the truth is what works at that time, not based on the duality between independent reality and what is in the mind. Okay, so researchers should stop wondering about the nature of your reality or reality and get on with what works. Okay, this is what is mixed method tell you basically. So if you need to start with quantitative because you need to have their you need to have some of the data, preliminary data, you can start with the quantitative. Okay, but if you do not know, okay, what is the framework, okay, what is the the course, yeah, so you might start with qualitative. Okay, so you can dig deeper into the issue first, and then you start to test it. All right. So this is the conclusions, the categories of research methodologies. Okay, by objective we have qualitative research. Okay, qualitative mean understanding of human behavior and the reason that governs such behavior. Second, quantitative research. Okay, this is basically a systematic empirical investigations of quantitative properties and phenomena and their relationships. And the last one is the mixed method research. Yeah, so use a combination of quantitative and qualitative method for data collection and analysis. This is the research methodologies now that we have. Okay, either qualitative, pure qualitative, or pure quantitative, or maybe mix of quali and quanti, which we call as a mixed method research. All right, so I can open any Q&A with all of you. So if you have any questions for, okay, for our talk this morning. So our talk this morning is about research methodologies. Any questions? I'm the one who I'll give you okay, any of you want to ask? Okay, chat in the chat. If you can in the chat as well, I can read it. So how many of you doing quantitative research? Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
I'm doing, doctor.
Okay, good. So anyone you doing qualitative? No? No, yeah? So you are doing quantitative, yeah? So I think most of you, because you are in technology, might doing quantitative, yeah? So I just want to know who doing qualitative. I mean, your investigation is basically a qualitative. Anyone? Okay, I no. Okay, what are the usual qualitative research method? Okay, for qualitative research methodologies, okay, you will, okay, there are a lot, yeah. If you are doing purely qualitative, you might heard like grounded theory. Okay, grounded theory means very purely qualitative. Phenomenological study. Do you any doing phenomenological study or maybe longitudinal study? Okay. Okay, hang on. I read from the chat. Okay, you are doing mix. You're doing both. Okay, good. Okay, and doctor, can I ask? It means the quantitative study needs a theoretical framework. But no, okay, yeah, that's right. Zhang, what I'm going to, okay, Zhang, yeah, is it Zhang Zhong Yu? Zhang
Yeah,
Zhong Yu.
yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
Quantitative study, you need to have a sound, okay, or maybe a very strong, yeah, theory, okay, to underpinning your research, meaning that you need to have strong base. Okay, you cannot start without theory in quantitative. Because why? Because you need a variable. Okay, where can you find a variable? Variable is the thing that you need to test. Okay, so in order for you to get the variable, you need to start with your theory. Okay, you need to start theory model any can be used. Yeah, sometimes you use model. Okay, sometimes you use theory as well. Yeah, so from there you will expand. Okay, expand and
Okay.
you will see the relationship between variable A into to the variable B, and then you will do your experiment. And for social scientists, we are not doing fully experiment like the one that scientists do, okay, in the lab. We normally do quasi experiment. What is quasi experiment? Meaning that we're doing not random experiment, purely random. Okay, randomized experiment is something that we cannot do. Social science, yeah. We normally do not randomized, yeah. Maybe purposive. Okay, you do have your own sample, and then you do by doing your sample. Okay, all right. So
Okay,
should
okay.
we
Thank
describe
you.
what type of research paradigm we use in the writing? Okay, Rohaya. Okay, okay. Normally in thesis, the focus is on the research design. Okay, we are basically mainly not emphasis on the research methodology. We are not emphasize on the methodology. We are not going to explain what is quantitative. No, no, no. We are basically emphasize the design. Okay, for example, if you do quantitative, what is the design of the quantitative research that you use for your research to solve the issue? Okay, for example, if your design is one post pre-post and pre-post and post test. Okay, that is your design. So you have to explain that how you doing that. Pre-post post test is basically a quantitative. We know that. So you don't have to explain quantitative because the examiner don't want to listen to the don't want to read the quantitative. They want to know your design. Okay, meaning that the design is the important. Okay, the design of your research methodology is belong into either quantitative, qualitative, or mixed method. All right. If you are doing qualitative, your design might be a phenomenological study. So you explain that. Okay, for quantitative, you might it's a pre-post test. Okay, that is very much easy lah. Or you maybe have one group pre-post or post test, or maybe two group. Okay, and then you have to explain it. That is the most important, the design. All right, it's similar to the mixed method as well. Okay, should the PhD thesis mention the guiding research paradigm? Okay, all right. Yes, you can. Okay, some of the thesis have also start with research paradigm, but it's you need to focus more on the design. Okay, it's better. Okay, paradigm is okay if you want to start with that or methodology, but the most important thing is your design. Yeah, your design should be explained in the thesis so that the examiner can understand, the reader can understand how you tackle your research. All right. So any questions? So because
Yes,
why?
Prof.
Because for this morning I have to explain the research methodology. That's why I start with research paradigm. Research paradigm is basically research methodologies. So we are currently have 3 only. We don't have more than 3. Okay, if you have more than 3, I'm not sure. Okay. Currently, we only have 3 research methodologies. We only have qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method. We don't have the 4th element. There is no 4th element methodologies for research. Okay. Okay.
Hello, Prof.
I mean paradigms such as social criticism or okay. Uh, Okay, paradigm is basically the methodology. All right. If you start with research methodology, if you explain quantitative is enough. Quantitative mean post-positivism. Or kalau if you saying qualitative is basically interpretism. So you can either use the word quantitative or qualitative because normally in Malaysia and Southeast Asia they use that word. All right. But in other English country, they might use research paradigm. All right, they are more broad. Research paradigm is more broad. Quantitative, qualitative, and mixed method is more focused. Okay, so in here we focus on design. Okay, we are not focusing on paradigm because the design is much more important. Okay, so how you conduct your research is very important. Okay. All right.
Hello, Prof.
So any
Hello.
more? Hello?
Yes, Prof. Hello.
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah. Uh, my name is Mansour Bello.
Okay, yes,
Prof,
Mr. Mazulio.
yes, my question is for you to have mixed method, what are the most important features that need to appear in your research to qualify it as a mixed method?
Okay, for mixed method, there is a principle of mixed method. That's why if you are if you are looking at an issue, okay, that don't fall 100% on quantitative or qualitative, that might sound mixed method. Okay, but when you start identify that issue cannot be tackled 100% on quantitative or qualitative, then you need to focus on mixed method and looking at their principle. Okay, mixed method have their own principle. You cannot saying that okay, I want to do 50% quantitative, 30% qualitative. No. Okay, you must be based on the principle of method. Okay, mixed method have type 1, 2, and 3. So you need to rely on that. Okay, so maybe 70%, 70% 30 or 30 70. Okay, there is a ratio for that, and you have to follow. John Creswell. Have you hear about Creswell? Creswell is
Yes, yes,
modern author for mixed method. You
yeah.
can find the books Creswell. So if you want to do mixed method, I suggest you to choose which type of mixed method you are in. Okay, if you are focusing on 70-30, meaning that 70 is quantitative and 30% is quali. But if you do the other way, okay, you have to follow the type of mixed method. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Please,
Thank you.
please, if you do mixed method, please adhere to the rules. Okay, if not, you will be in trouble. Okay, because some of the examiner are very strict of mixed method. Yeah, so I'm okay. Please pick the book and the type and follow the type. Okay, that's all. Okay, don't don't create your own mixed method. Okay, because some examiner are very strict with mixed methodologies. Yeah. Okay. He Suping. Prof, would you please spell write down the scholar name is okay. Hang on. I show it to you. John Creswell. Yeah. John Creswell. Okay, this is a modern author. Okay. Okay, John Creswell. The one that I show you is already dead. They are no longer in here. But this is very well known. John Creswell. If you go to the books, click the book. In the library, there's a lot of library books. Okay, see the research design. Okay, we go. Okay, conducting or designing mixed method research. You can follow this one. Yeah, this is very good book. Okay, so if you're doing mixed method, please follow. Okay, follow. Okay. It's similar. It's similar to other methodology. For example, qualitative. If you're doing qualitative, for example, you're doing case study. Case study sometimes can be purely qualitative. Then you need to find author. Okay, the most prominent author is Ying. Okay, you can find Ying as well. Ying case study. Okay, here Robert K. Y. Ying. Robert K. Y. Ying is very, you can find this book, case study research design. Okay, similar to the mixed method. Okay, so this is the things that I want to highlight, because mixed method is not easy. Okay, simply saying that I do 50% portion of quantitative and 50% portion of qualitative, and then my research is mixed method. Careful, very careful when you saying that. If the examiner see this is not adhere to the principle of mixed method, you might be in trouble. Okay, maybe you have to correct your research methodology or design. Okay, any more questions? This is very good. Creswell is basically the modern author for mixed method. Okay, in the library you can find the books. Okay, so any more questions? I think that's all for research methodology. Please remember, we only have 3 methodologies. Either you do quantitative, qualitative, or mixed method. But if you do mixed method, please make sure you are in the right type of mixed method. And where to get that type, you can get it from books. You can refer to Creswell books and choose your type, and then you can start from there. All right. If you're doing quantitative, I think you have no problem, because quantitative is mainly doing the pre and post test study. Okay, all right. The only thing that you need to find the theory, the very strong theory, and this one might need you to discuss with your supervisor. All right. For qualitative, you don't need to have theory. You will start with your own view, and then you can but for qualitative also, you need to know the design. Okay. If you're doing case study, go and find the book from Yin. All right. If grounded theory, you can go find grounded theory. Grounded theory will basically you will come up with a theory. Okay, later on. If you're doing grounded theory. Okay. Or phenomenological study, then you can find the phenomenological study, etc. But I think most of educational technologies, they are doing quantitative, or mixed method. Okay, all right. So that's all for this morning presentation. I wish you the best, for your study. We might meet again later in the faculty. If you find me, please say hello to me. Okay, all right, but okay, I will share the books in the Telegram later. All right, okay, bye. Salam and good morning. Bye all.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Doc.
Dr.